The Nigerian football elections, as we speak, should be ongoing, in Benin. As at 30 minutes ago, the elective congress, was about to start. So it should be on as we speak. The NFF-led Amaju Pinnick committee has been dissolved. What do you make of this, especially, the legal tussle? Last week, there was a court injunction that the elections shouldn't hold. Someone else got an injunction yesterday that the elections should go ahead. You know the way it is with legal battles in Nigerian Football Federation. What do you make of all of this?
I hope it will finally be over today, and then we can do away with, we can go beyond the Amaju Pinnick-led Nigerian football. So we go to a new phase of Nigerian football where we hope they will have different vision.
Yes.
Or like a personalized vision that
we've
experience.
Yes.
That we saw with Amaju Pinnick. So I hope there will be a different one.
We have FIFA and CAF officials on ground, to monitor proceedings so as to ensure that the polls are free and fair, and whoever emerges as the president of the Nigerian Football Federation is duly elected. There on the screen is a picture of the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, with some of the presidential candidates in a meeting at his office on Tuesday. That's about 3 days ago. So again, what was your assessment of the Amaju Pinnick-led administration over the course of 8 years? How do you think they fared? Did they develop our football? If they did, was it biased towards a particular gender or the other? And we're not just looking at football in terms of national team, we're also looking at organizing club sides, the commercial aspect of things and all.
And that's what I just said in the last part of my conclusive statement.
Yes.
I said its own time is more like a personalized kind of football administration, where he was so much focusing on himself alone, how to get to the top ladder in CAF, in FIFA.
I mean, it was once first vice president of CAF, and it's part of the FIFA Council.
And that's what we've been celebrating.
But there are those who will give him credit that under his administration, he brought in more sponsors, especially for the national team. And you can, I mean, the last few months we had sponsors even for the Nigerian Professional Football League. So that those who give him credit for that, as against what we usually have, where it's sponsored on paper, and then there's nothing to show for it in terms of revenue.
Yeah, I just started with that.
Okay.
On the other side of it, from what you have pointed out, which I was about hitting, is that he has actually helped in bringing sponsors that injected money into our football.
Okay.
And that makes the football, he has also exposed so many of our football to the international scene, bringing partners with La Liga, with so many.
Exactly.
You get, so he has done, in that regard, he has done that part very, very well. In the area of development of the football club itself, there's an issue. So, but he has, his hand is handicapped, especially when he's working with the Minister of Sports. The number of Ministers of Sport that he has worked with before Mr. Sunday Dari. So, to me, if I should call him out of 100, at least he has done his best, and we can give him a 55, a 60.
Okay. Talking about the Amaju Pinnick-led committee, it's exclusive and it's official. That's Amaju Pinnick-led NFF executives have been dissolved, and right about now you should have the elective assembly ongoing in Benin, despite all legal tussle. So a new president will emerge to lead Nigerian football over the course of the next 4 years. Let's hope that the best candidate wins, not just in terms of running the affairs of the national team, but also the Professional Football League. You had the Shehu Diko-led NPFL, or LMC rather, the Shehu Diko-led LMC running the affairs of the NPFL over the last few years. And well, that those who say the league has developed, that those who say it hasn't developed to its full potentials. Let's hope the next set of administrators are able to continue the job and even elevate the standards, as it were. Well, let's move away from there now and delve into weekend matches. But just before then, we'll have to talk about Newcastle United, and it's all about Garanga Cole, the teenage sensation from Australia, 18 years old, and Newcastle United have agreed a deal with him. They will pay an initial £300,000. Yes, £300,000 initially. It will be. He signed from Central Coast Mariners, and this is a player who is a prized asset, it must be said. You had several top clubs chasing him, but Newcastle United moved swiftly to secure his signature. £300,000 initial fee, but by the time you add add-ons, it could amount to 500 or 600,000 pounds. You want to see a cheap buy, you know, in this modern day inflated transfer market. Well, let's move away from there now and delve into preview of European club matches. Yes, last week there were no European club matches because you had players representing their nations at various tournaments, friendly matches, you know, the UEFA Nations League and what have you. But this time around, club football is back, and we're starting with the Premier League. It's all about the North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. For Tottenham Hotspur, they're still unbeaten and they're starting the season strong. Their very best start, you know, in over a decade, and Antonio Conte is doing everything right. For Arsenal, yes, they've suffered a loss, but they are still waxing strong on top of the table. So let me get your opinion. Arsenal Spurs, I mean, Son is back scoring a goal. You know, they scored a hat-trick in his last match. He also scored a stunning free kick for Korea during the international break. You think Tottenham will continue their unbeaten run against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium?
It's going to be a difficult affair looking at the current new look Arsenal team. I expect, and if you look at the history of these fixtures,
yes,
for the past 5 or 6 matches now, in these particular fixtures in the league, it has always been the home team taking
winning,
the day.
Exactly.
And so it's going to be a dicey affair,
yes,
at the Emirates Stadium.
Okay.
Knowing the current form of the Tottenham Football Club, who has been unbeaten in the league so far,
yes,
and looking at what the Arsenal team has been doing even at home in the leagues this season. So it's going to be a both-sided affair, which I believe at the end of the day Arsenal should be able to take.
Get it. Okay, don't worry, we'll get on to predictions, because if they would drag anyone, you'll be the one they would drag. We'll get down to the point where we'll get to predict some of these matches, but let's just continue with, you know, our preview of the matches for now. Yes, it's not only Arsenal against Spurs that is the big match of the weekend. In fact, that's Saturday, the biggest match in the Premier League on Saturday. But on Sunday, you have the Manchester derby, and it's at the Etihad Stadium, as Manchester United will be visiting Pep Guardiola's men. And the big question is, can they get the job done? You know, you have Marcus Rashford winning the player of the month for September. 2 goals, 2 assists. Unfortunately, he picked up an injury, you know, in that match against Arsenal where he scored a brace and hasn't played since then. But his, you know, performance that day was still enough to earn them the award. So, looking at it, Rashford may be back for this, but do you think Manchester United can defeat Man City?
Of course, Manchester United always have chances against big teams.
Yes.
In this season, you've seen how they have been performing when you least expect
against Liverpool to
perform. The odds were against them, and they came out flying from the onset.
Yes,
they had the belief from the beginning of the match, and so that's what's going to play out against the Manchester City team.
Okay.
Not forgetting that the City team will also be putting one eye in a midweek Champions League fixture that will be coming up. So, but this City team, they don't respect in this season. They don't respect whether we are in league, whether they are in the Champions League. They are always at the forefront of scoring goals.
Erling Haaland
with their goal machine, Erling Haaland. And so that's a major task that's going to be for United defense.
That exactly, I was coming there. If you are the coach, what center pairing are you going for to handle Haaland? I mean, 14 goals in 10 games, marvelous start to the season for him. But who can handle Haaland in terms of pace, in terms of physical strength? You know, you need a defender who is bullish, tall, who can handle him pace for pace, strength for strength, and what have you. Also, technical abilities. If it was Liverpool, you probably want to say Virgil van Dijk, when at his best, can do the job. But you look at Manchester United, there's Rafael Varane, who is injury prone. You have Harry Maguire, who so many United fans wouldn't even want to reckon with. So, if you were the coach, Erik ten Hag, what's your center pairing like?
He is going to continue with the one he has been doing before, with the pairing of
Varane and Martinez. Okay.
So the two of them, how they are going to come together to manage Haaland, which has been difficult for teams since the beginning of this season, is what is going to be known to what they are going to study by themselves.
But quickly, won't it even be a mismatch? For example, you look at Martinez, the height difference with Haaland, who, you know, territorially and aerially is a menace. So I'm looking at the aerial duel between both guys. It's a no-brainer. Haaland wins all the way.
I remember that for a defender to be short, it's not a matter of your height,
and that's true though.
It's how well calculated you are.
Your movements on and off the ball.
On and off the ball. And even with the football play, with the player that you are being, assigned to
exactly,
mark.
Exactly.
So it's not about your height. So, and that's where it's going to be. It's not even about Varane or Martinez. No, I'm talking about the form of Erling Haaland. That in a split of seconds, with the efficiency of Kevin De Bruyne, with the ball. So, and any of his teammates already knows that this guy can be anywhere. Just whenever you see him, he will always going to be somewhere, and the ball will meet in that same way, spot. And we score. And so, how to manage it now is going to be a headache for the United team, United defense. How can they do it? So, it has to be a collective effort for you to manage such. You can't say you want to mark him. You can't mark him.
Exactly.
You take two players, two of the defenders to mark a particular striker. You leave a gap for Kevin De Bruyne. You leave a gap for Bernardo Silva or whichever player that will play.
Yeah.
And then it opens a lot of space.
Exactly.
And then goals can come in from any place, from anywhere. And the Manchester City team can score goals from any angle. And so it's important that, to me, I since you say we are not going to prediction yet, but to me, I don't see.
Don't worry, we'll get to predictions in just a bit.
I don't know how Man United will overcome that.
But it's obvious that Manchester United have their work cut out, especially away from home against Manchester City. The big question is, can Erling Haaland be tamed, especially when you look at the defensive pairing of Martinez and Varane? That's the big question that we'll have answers to on Sunday. Well, let's move away from there and talk about Chelsea Football Club. It's away at Crystal Palace, but the big news is it's Graham Potter's, league bow, his debut when it comes to the league. His first debut at Chelsea in terms of, his first match ever at the Elm of Affairs was in the Champions League match at Stamford Bridge against Salzburg. That didn't end well, ended in a stalemate 1-1. This time around, Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira have been difficult to play, especially at Selhurst Park. So the question is, can Chelsea get it done?
Of course, they will be expecting to give the best for the coach.
Yes.
And the coach will be expecting, will also have the pressure of giving the best giving positive results to turn the results around almost immediately.
Do you even think he's the right man for the job? Quickly.
Of course, you don't know about somebody that is coming from
Brighton Hove Albion.
Somebody that bought. I'm talking about Boli now.
Boli, oh, okay.
Who, from previous interview with Thomas Tuchel before he was sacked, was said that he was teaching them football. And then a man just, all of a sudden, you just sack a man that won everything for you, that put you at the worst stage, and then you now bring in
Graham Potter.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, in about 30 seconds, just as before we wrap up, Liverpool, at home against Brighton. Brighton under Graham Potter were very difficult to play, very difficult to beat. Yes, Liverpool is at Anfield, but they're also battling with injury woes. They've been inconsistent. Do you think they can, should I say kickstart their season again? Because they're off the radar now when it comes to title challenge. But do you think they can get the job done against Brighton Hove Albion?
Brighton is playing a beautiful football.
Yes.
With Graham Potter.
Although it's no longer Graham Potter in charge.
It's no longer there. So there's a new man at the affairs there. But I believe that there's going to be a lot of goals, but I want to say Liverpool can still look for a way to grind
out the results. Okay.